Welcome to the For Her Collective. My name is JP, and here we have my beautiful co host, my friend and sister, Daisha. And we are so thrilled tonight that we have the third point to our triangle. And it's none other than our sister, Cristin Danae, is here. And so I'm so glad that she's here. So I'm going to have Cristin say a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, tell the people who you are. And go ahead and do that for us.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's Cristin Danae.
Oh, classic.
Had to do it. Hey, everyone. Finally on this thing. So yes, I'm Cristin, as you guys have heard. Finally on. Excited to be with my sisters here. We have known each other. It's been years. We'll get into that, but it's just good to be in this place and on with you guys. And yes, I am Cristin Ware. I am a mother of two kids. I have a 3-year-old and a soon to be 11-month-old. I'm wife to Corey Ware, Minister Corey Ware. And yes, life has been lifing. And so I'm excited to be on, and I'll turn it back over.
Yeah. So, Cristin, we have talked in the past in previous episodes of like how JP and I met, and so that includes you, of course. Like there is no our story without Cristin. Like you're, and so just so that the listeners kind of get like the full, I guess the full picture. Can you share with everyone, like from your perspective, your words, like how we all met, how we got connected?
Okay, so first I met JP first before I met you, Daisha, and we had a few sleepover sessions. We all linked up. We met through Jarrell and Romel, and they were always hooking and just like getting everybody together. They just were like headliners to every party or any get together or a listening party, whatever. That's how I think me and JP met first. And they talked her up real good, and I just became close to her. We would spend the night. I actually ran across a picture of us sitting on your floor in Oakland. We were like sitting, you were one way and I was the other. It was super cute, and it just brought back so many memories. But yeah, we would have like fish fries at her house, and we would we would go to like the studio and be hanging there for hours. So I don't remember exactly when I met Daisha, but it was an instant connection. Like, you know how there's forced conversations sometimes when you meet people. These two never. We've always had sleepovers. We've talked about our weddings. We had our wedding songs that we were coming into down. We just didn't have the husband. So
minor detail.
So, this was before kids, before COVID, before all of this stuff. So I don't remember like timelines per se, but it's just been so natural knowing them. And I can't even really remember. It was like
that's okay, because I'm gonna back us up a little bit, because I'm a jogger member. So I need to step back, because when you mentioned about before kids and COVID, it's also before the moves, right? So tell everybody where you live now, because we all used to live in the San Francisco Bay Area together, but now we're not together. So where are you located on the map?
Shout out to the Bay. Me and Corey, my husband, we were just watching the E40. We watched a snippet of the E40 versus Too Short. It's just funny. The Bay Area is just a vibe. So we now reside in San Diego. My husband moved there like 6 years ago, maybe, and I've been here 4 years. So as long as we've been married, I love San Diego, and it's always warm, but now it's starting to get cold. But yeah, we moved. Yeah, I moved here. It's been 4 years and 2 kids later, and yeah, I enjoy it. But yeah, the Bay was definitely a vibe with, especially with you guys. Our sister, we would go to eat. What was that last spot with the macaroni?
The
Oh,
homeroom. The homeroom.
oh yes,
Is that
Yeah.
right? Something like
yes.
that.
Yeah.
I have no idea. The Lord had to just drop that in my mind. I'm like, God, how do I remember that?
I only had one kid then. I only had Jen then.
Yeah.
Oh man, you did.
I only had one day.
Wow,
Oh,
yes, that was the bomb, and good food, good eats, good conversations. I don't remember us having a dull moment with each other, and
Right.
it's just been like that ever since. And just to see each other now, married with children, and like you said, dive out of the Bay Area, but we still connecting, and here, and just
friendship transcends location.
There you go. That's real.
So, but
forever.
I do have a clarifying question, because I'm trying to figure out, like, were you guys having sleepovers and fish fries like before me?
Before you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did
it
not
was
know
two of
that.
them too. Like we
Yeah.
did like on the weekends. It was, and we'll go to church rehearsals. Like I remember leaving JP's after one of the fish fries. I think I'm about to say J Truth, Jarrell, J Truth. He cooked. He was throwing down too. And then I think I had rehearsal the next day for choir rehearsal, and they dropped me off, and we picked back up and went somewhere else. Like went to my house. It was just the time to
Yeah.
just fellowship and do, we were single, so we didn't have nothing, no obligation.
We had a good time. And I actually remember the first day I met you, Cristin. I remember during my I was living alone at my apartment, and I used to be very funny about, people coming to my house, and I'm like, I don't like knowing people knowing where I live and blah 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 blah. And Jarrell and Ramel was like, no, you're gonna like her. And I'm like, but I don't even really know her like that. And they were like, it's not gonna be no issue. She's not gonna bring no drama. I'm like, I don't know who she deal. I'm just very uneasy about stuff. And you came in, literally, I remember you came into the door, and we just said hi, and I forgot everything I was concerned about. It's exactly what you said. It was completely natural, and we have been inseparable ever since. Like literally, I mean, it was having, again, the sleepovers, the cookouts. It was nonstop.
Riding on the street, listening on me. And the first time I was
bumping.
first time we heard you rap, I think we just were joking about it, and I think Jarrell and them knew you rapped, or I don't know, did they know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they knew.
And then boom, I was like, hey, and from then on, like that was even more like a more organic moment. Like, hey, this girl got bars. She know the same people I know, and then from after we start talking, we knew the same people, and it was just the bomb, just knowing you. So Daisha, it just feel like she's always been here, but I don't remember like an official like
I wasn't
meeting
there.
her.
I thought I was there from the beginning, but I clearly was not.
No, you weren't. I think without, I don't know where I met. Was it?
I can tell you where we met. So
Okay.
So you guys had joined J Christ Remnant, but I assumed it was this new thing. But maybe you guys had joined J Christ Remnant a little longer before.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Okay.
We were apart before. We were together before you.
Okay. So my B. So J Christ Remnant asked me to do admin for you guys, and so I was like, okay. I had known of JP. I hadn't met you, and I had not met Cristin, but we connected on Facebook because they told me, like, okay, this is who's J Christ Remnant, and so I was like, okay, well, let's get to know the young ladies. And there was some event. I don't know if it was in Sacramento or where it was, but the young lady, V Rose or something, she was before she became big, like she sang, and so y'all went to that, wherever that was, and I had invited you guys to Windsor. Yo, you like how my memory, y'all like that, right? Yeah.
I
Mhm.
remember it being an event too. That I really do.
She sang, okay, because I didn't go, so I don't know where it was. But I remember you guys talking about Over the Rainbow. And then y'all showed up to Windsor later that night. Lolisha also came. She wasn't part of J. Christ Remnant, so she actually, I don't even know if she came that night. I think she came the next morning. So
Yeah.
it was me waiting for pretty much these strangers, right? Like I knew of you, JP. Like we crossed paths, but we didn't know we didn't know each other. But y'all came and we just, I mean, like we just had the best time. Like we were like besties forever. And
So wait.
oh, oh. You're
Wait.
not remembering the story different?
The first time you met Cristin in person was in Windsor? I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
That doesn't seem right.
No, because you drove one time. We was in that Corolla, girl, with the phone still attached. That wasn't the first encounter. That wasn't.
I mean, maybe they introduced me, but I'm pretty sure that was the first time. I
Really?
feel pretty
Because
confident.
Makita was there too, or did we go to Windsor
No,
twice?
that was a different time. That was the time when all J. Christ Remnant came.
Okay.
Separate. We had like our little retreat, and we went to go to the movies to see In
In
Time.
time. And I
Yeah,
said I
and I was so mad at me because I was so chatty. But you know,
word to the wise. I vow to never, ever go to a movie with Daisha again after seeing In Time. She talked the entire time. It was
You did
awful.
vow. I think you met that vow. You've stuck to that vow.
I'm
It was
unashamed.
awful.
I'm unashamed. I had questions, and I needed answers.
Literally. The whole time.
And
After the movie, like
yeah,
we
like
came here.
it was fellowship. We were supposed to be spending time together. So who goes to the movies to spend time together and not talk? Like
We had talked the whole night. I wanted to see the movie.
first of all, it was the next day, and whatever. I listen. I stand by what I said. I'm unashamed. It is
Not
what
a
it is.
gang up, but it is the truth.
You're not a
Like, I
chatty
mean,
patty.
you
Don't
go
go
to
to
the
the
movies
movies
to
with me.
like, what do you go to the movies for? To watch the movie. Like, you won't go to a movie.
I
And then
came
I
to the
go to
retreat
a
to
movie.
spend time with my loved ones, and so that's
We
what
should
I
have did our own movie if we was gonna do that and save some money.
real talk. I bought the movie, and I watched it many times after that. So I appreciate those who gave me clarity on what was going on in the movie, because it ended up being one of my favorites. So I bought it. So
Did you talk through that too? Like you,
once we know the plot, like well,
oh my.
but so that was essentially how we met. And then we literally like just we kicked it hard. Like we were together all the time. Like I remember having sleepovers at JP's, and we would go back and forth. We'd have a sleepover at JP. We would do a out of towner retreat. Sometimes we'd have a day thing, but we just made sure we stayed connected. And I like those are like some of the best times for me. Like I had my girls, we were having fun, and good Christian fun. Like we weren't doing nothing, like crazy or reckless or ruining our testimony or anything like that. Like we was just having good fun. Like we went to the
And I brag
aquarium.
hard about those times. I brag real hard. Like, yeah, now me and my friends, we would say wasn't no funny business, one was sneaking no dudes in. And those moments healed me in areas where I needed to be. I'm not gonna get all deep just yet.
I mean, talk about it, sis, because that's what we're talking about tonight. Is sisterhood, right? I got all my sisters with me, and so
I wanted to wait till y'all got in.
I mean, listen, we just having a conversation, and so you're good because a lot of women, you hear sometimes that like yeah, I don't fool with females, like or that people have church hurt, but people also have like hurt from other women for whatever reason, and I don't know how is that experience for you guys, and maybe you guys want to speak to that. I like that hasn't really been my experience. Like I've had like when I was a child, like like people being children, but like I feel like God has always blessed me like with good girlfriends, right? Like, and just like no drama, like in my adulthood. Let me reiterate, in adulthood, like lots of foolishness in childhood, but like I've had good sisters. And yeah, like so yeah, speak to it. Like, are we an anomaly? Like, do other women get what we have? Like
Yeah. It definitely, like I said, spoke to the healing in me because there are times like I grew up just my mom will tell you to this day I always had guy friends, male friends, because it was just easier to get along with males, and so she was never surprised when I had Jarrell and Justin Goss, all of them in one spot in my mom's house, like because it just was always natural, but meeting y'all just it was the most authentic. I mean, I have a best friend that I've had known all my life from grade school and up, and like friends from fifth grade. But like it was like they have always it still feels like we just been inseparable ever since we've met, and we've had highs and lows. We didn't fell out before. I know me and Daisha fell out before because here's the thing: how many
briefly.
yeah, just
I didn't even remember till you just said it. I was like, what the
briefly, and it was me being stubborn from just some things that I don't know if we still talk about iron sharpen iron, but as Christian friends, you need those that is going to tell you right and wrong. And I know I've shared with you guys and have thanked you and apologized for it because I was talking in a relationship with someone I knew I didn't have any business, and y'all checked me on that. And I guess when you get older, you should want to be around people that tell you you wrong, sis, and still love you. Y'all didn't, judge me to the point where we not cool no more.
yeah.
I was in a place where it was just like I'm gonna do me, and it was wrong. So I can truly be thankful that now I have kids. I introduce y'all as auntie, and funny stuff. And yeah, falling out for a second. I don't even remember how long it was. Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't long.
remember
It wasn't
my grandma
long.
passed, and y'all showed up, and I think we ended up me and Di. She texted me to meet her at Starbucks, I think, and I was like, I don't want to meet her. I ain't got time, and just stubborn. And I'm grateful because that's the thing of the past, and we got even closer after that, to where I can share with each one. There's no behind each other backs, and just I'm just thankful for that friendship in that time because we're still like years later. The bond is close, just as close. I'm going through some terrible things that I'm experiencing with our son needing a heart transplant, and I hadn't been talking to anyone. No one really knew details about Isaiah. His name is Isaiah. Um, no one knew really the depth of where we were going through, and I think I shared with JP and I personally. Like it was just like I couldn't really talk about it. So who are you vulnerable with? Like we can ask that question. Who are you vulnerable in your most hard times? Like, we all going through hardships and different things. We're all married, and just, what friends can you just go to without judgment, where they can just drive from LA to San Diego and spend just want to talk. Like I remember JP recently, she came and visited. She was like, sis, I don't want to. You don't have to watch TV. You don't have to entertain me, but we can just sit and talk. That was, let me tell you, that lifted me out of depression. I was going into a dark place, and just your visit, the sacrifice. It may not have been to you, but I was just like, oh my God, this is what I needed. And so the next day I was cool. I was fine. I was like, that's when I started letting my family in. After letting you guys in, Daisha, I felt you just as much there. You may be miles away. But I was like, that's what pulled me out of my depression. Friendship, sisterhood. And yeah, that's a moment and moments of my life that I'll never forget. Single, now married with kids. I mean, I know you guys can test to that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, like of course we know, but thank you for sharing in this space and being vulnerable and yeah, just being willing to just let others know what you're going through and that people can relate to that, right? Like
Yeah.
um, when you are going through, because we all go through things, right? But you in particular right now are going through a really, really hard thing. And it just, um, yeah, to have sisters, to know that you can lean on, that you can talk to if you want to, or if you just want to sit, right? Like you can call me in the middle of the night. I'm gonna answer. I mean, I might be sleepy and delirious, but I'll sit there. So I'm like,
Hey, listen.
and that yeah, that JP will come down with all her blessings from the Lord. Um, yeah,
Only real sisters will do that.
yeah, 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 absolutely. JP, you want to share about? I mean, JP, like you have a gang of blood sisters in real life, like.
I do. I do. And I apologize. Somebody's this invisible person over here is cutting onions, make me a little
I saw that, but I was like, maybe it's a fan blowing or something. Maybe
it's a fan.
allergies.
Allergy. There you go. It's the fall. It's allergy season.
I
Um,
got Benadryl, sis. I got Benadryl.
um, yeah, I think I would attest to what Kristen was saying. Just this what this relationship has done for me as a Christian and as an adult Christian. When I first got saved, I didn't have. I came from like my previous life. I had a lot of girlfriends. It was all good. I mean, it were I don't know a better term, but we had ratchet friendships, but they were friendships. And so
Friends.
my friends. And so but I like Kristen. I had a lot of male friends as well. I still have my my male friend who's been my friend since we were 12 or 13. He's a brother to me. We are still close to this day. And so I've always had a bunch of male friends. And then when I became a Christian, I was excited and I got to my church and ended up getting connected, with a male friend, that eventually became something more. But due to that relationship, I don't know if it was due to relationship or whatever, but I didn't have a lot of the girls in the church or the women in the church. For whatever reason, they didn't take to me or whatever. And I wanted to be friends with everyone, but I don't know. I kind of just, I don't know. I don't know. But I never had a genuine friendship with someone. And I I did start to, but it was just kind of rocky. Their lives were kind of rocky. And so the relationship never kind of was stable. But meeting you guys opened up a whole new door for me and made me appreciate sisterhood in a different way. And I was always good with not having a bunch of friends from church because again, I have sisters, and even though they're younger than me, I do have an older sister. But my closest sisters, are younger than me, and I'm like, I was okay with not having them because I don't need y'all. I have sisters. And sometimes I feel like that now, depending on the environment I'm in. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I've got sisters. Don't need you. but uh, but meeting you all definitely opened up my heart and allowed me to see something and experience life and girlfriends in a way that I didn't even know was possible. You cannot pay me to be as vulnerable as I have been with anyone, like I've been with you guys. I think I was texting Kristen at one point. This was a couple years ago, I think, when struggling in marriage or whatever. And she was like, sis, it's all good. I got you. Because I was just like, I just need somebody to pray for me. And I'm like, she can pray for me. And didn't really want to talk. But I texted. She was like, sis, I got you. And God's got you. It's all good. And that's all I needed to hear. Like sometimes it's just that reassurance, like Kristen said, like, she not going back and telling, JP struggling in this area or blah, blah, blah. But she not, it ain't, it's not like that. It's that I can be vulnerable. I can share and I don't have to worry about anything. And there is no drama. And I feel like even if there was drama, I feel like we can talk about it. Or I feel like if there was a disagreement, I feel like I can just, come out and say it. Like I think I've said to you, Daisha, oh, you getting on my nerves right now. Or this is getting, I don't talk about this. It just, it feels like those are the conversations I have with my biological sisters, and so it's like, yeah, you're irritating me. I don't want to talk. And even Cristin could be like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this right now or whatever. And it's okay. It's all good because we know each other, we understand each other. So it's I don't know. It reminds me of like, I'm gonna bring a scripture in, that God, Daisha, don't laugh at me.
I was like, that's your role, sis. That's your role. Let's bring it up.
Get ready to cry.
Just that, where, and I want to be able to quote it properly, but it's just that he will give you, mother, father, sister, brothers. Like if you don't have those things in him, though, in Christ, that he will give you everything that you need. And so while I feel like my biological sisters during that time, especially, we weren't at the same level in our faith or whatever, God gave me exactly what I needed because there were certain things I can talk to you all about because of the life stage that we were in. That during that time, Jamila was 13 or something. What am I going to talk to her about who I'm dating or who's, you know what I'm saying? So there are certain life stages that I can be vulnerable and open up with you guys about, and then you guys were able to point me to Christ or pray in a way, and not just, that simple, oh, I'm gonna be praying for you. But like, no, we've come together and literally prayed with each other. We've gone through seasons where we're like, let's start a prayer, let's get on the phone. We all going through something. Let's get up at 6:00 in the morning and pray for each other. And I'm like, where they do that at? And maybe people do that, but I hadn't experienced that unless somebody from church was like, okay, your prayer group meets at 6:00 in the morning. This is something that we put together. Well, Daisha pretty much told us all to do it. And we got on the line.
The hairliner. Always.
Y'all showed up.
But yeah, so that's it. It's truly been a blessing. And I think it just attests to God giving us community, God giving us people that we can be vulnerable with, and us taking that step to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm listening to you guys talk, and I'm just like, yeah, like, why doesn't everybody do this? Like, because when I think of you guys, I automatically think of like fun and fellowship, like, because we have big fun, and like Cristin mentioned, we also have accountability. We also we pray together, right? Like we lean into that. Like JP will definitely has corrected me multiple times, like, Daisha, especially like as a wife, like, Daisha, now you know you in air, and I'm like, I know, and I don't really want to hear it, but I know you're right. So, but you need that, right? Like, because I think that's one of the things about like friendship, that people, like, they just look at the fun piece, but they don't know, people don't want to be corrected. They don't want accountability. And that's the problem. That's why you never get to that deep level, that like, oh, okay, I know we're friends. I know we're sisters. I know, like, that I can count on you when I'm going through. I know, like, if if I have to run to the hospital, or if I have to do this or whatever the case, like, I can rely on you, whatever it is. Because we have all those elements. And I love that. Like, yeah, like, correct me, because I want to be who I'm supposed to be, right? I want to be who God has called me to be, and I want to be a good person. I want to be a good friend. I want to be a good sister. And so I need y'all to help me get there, and I know yeah. JP, you're probably in particular probably gonna correct me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like, so, like, how people talk about, like, as far as like husbands and things, and we don't subscribe to that. We in this to win this, but life happens, and it's like, but I know one thing that's not gonna change is I'm gonna have my sisters, like I'm gonna have my husband too. But if I didn't, I'm still gonna have JP. I must have Cristin. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna have my sisters, and so like to being able, and I think too, because a lot of women sometimes, and even Christian women will like choose men over. We were talking earlier, JP, when we thought our story was going another way. When you thought I liked old dude, like a lot of women
When you call boo, I'm just saying, okay,
nothing. Now who I call boo?
Wait a minute, I have to pause. Keep your thought. That day we went to Dave & Buster's for your birthday, and Landon and that big life-size bear.
My God.
That's how we knew. Like, if she don't get
this dude, he brought in a carnival bear, like the one you went at the carnival.
This was just like a huge
Wait, and he wore like a white suit at just a random at Dave & Buster's. he wore tux.
I don't remember that one, but
he was in a suit though. I don't know if it was a white suit. He was in a suit.
It was white. It was white. He wore his wedding.
I think it was white to you. Like
oh man, I laughed for days.
Walk her to the car with that bear.
Y'all.
You married him.
Third time, like in the last month, someone has brought that story up to me, and
it's classic. I'm sorry. That's when we knew he was the one for you. If you didn't know, we was like,
Listen, I was over it. At that point, like I was immature, and I was like, boo, I am not boo. That boo, I'm not checking for you and this big bear. And I don't know if I told y'all this, but I gave that bear to because I was mad at him. I was over him, and I gave that bear. I tried to give it to like to some random person, one of my former clients, and she was like, "No, I'm riding the bus. I can't take it." So I gave it to one of my friends' little kids, and they loved it, and they ended up peeing on it and ruining it.
How did you give that away? Wow.
Because my love cannot be bought. I'm not a big like gesture, do this public thing, and I'm like, boy, you can miss me with all that. It's a wonder I'm married. I don't know how.
But see, this part of sisterhood and our laughs and giggles, we will be crying ourselves to sleep just because we're laughing. Right. And there are moments you're gonna laugh, the moments we've cried together. It's just the big days, our big day, man, like JP. I just remember just all of those. And then now we're here, like marriage and sat like years of it. And I'm the youngest in years, 4 years. But yeah, I'm
marriage.
And just to say at
this days, but yes.
What?
Go ahead, girl, because you don't get delirious. So go ahead.
Yes. But no, I was just saying now where we are and the level where we are with, my story. I just couldn't imagine not having friends. And I was telling my husband, I was telling Corey, I don't know where I would be without my girls, because at this point there are times where I don't want to talk to nobody, not even my mom, because sometimes our moms can be like hard on us, not really knowing what we're going through, but just trying to fix it. And you guys, I can just tell y'all without the questions. Like I've had somebody ask me, I can't really remember, but just questions where I'm like, I don't want to answer anything. I just want to talk. I want to be me. I want to cry. I want to cuss. I want to scream. I want to be me, So that's the important part of sisterhood. And I was just telling my husband, I'm like, I'm just so thankful to have sisters. And I was like, it's so important to have sister girls or brothers, because I always pray even in this season as a man, I don't know how my husband feels really on the inside. He'll tell me, but I'm not a man, so I don't know the experience. I only know mine's. So I always pray that he has men and brothers that he could talk to and be vulnerable with. Because if you don't have people that you can be vulnerable with in the hard times, especially now, I mean, I don't go through life thinking I'm the only one. But I know I got my sisters that we have been through something. Like I think the last time when me and JP talked, she was here. Um, we talked about things that I didn't even know she went through. And I was like, man, I thought I was the only one. So that's, I think, even lifted me more because sometimes we can walk through life thinking, man, am I the only one going through this in my marriage or with my children? They acting a fool. Like, there are levels that we've walked with each other in our sisterhood. And I'm like, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how long it's been that we've been together. I don't even remember, but I just know it's been life. We just life together.
2000.
Y'all know the time on
You said what?
2010,
2011 is when we all three of us got
Okay.
together. Yeah, because apparently there's a story pre-Daisha, which is totally
I like
fine.
how you just like
I'm not jealous at all, but
don't be jealous.
why I'm just finding this out on our podcast. It's I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember the time, like the exact time when we met you, but it's a natural, so don't take it personal, sis.
No, it's fine. I know exactly. Like I said, 2011.
But I mean, but Aisha, you said we only met each other in passing. We did more than passing. By that time, we had been prior to that. We had seen each other. We knew each
Yeah,
other.
we had seen each other. Yes, that's what I mean. But I mean, like we weren't intimate like this is what I meant. Yeah, no. Like you had come to the cafe, so I'm I had come to your church. I was thinking, like, yeah, we're cool. I want to be a friend, but we weren't
You
hanging out
hadn't been at the house or the functions, or you weren't broken in yet. So
yeah. I do believe like you two are like lifelong friendships for me. Like you cannot get rid of me. Like we can, like you said, Krista, we can fall out, but guess what? I'm gonna be calling you. Listen, so you talk about this, like we gonna work it out. You still mad? Like I'm not going anywhere. But there are some people that you meet for a reason, for some type of connection or whatever, and some people are just a season, and I think that's okay. Like there's no bad blood, like but that it is what it is, and I think that's okay. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes too, like people struggle like with things coming to an end, and you think it has to be dramatic and it has to be this
Yeah.
thing, and it don't have to be a thing. It could just be like purpose fulfilled.
and
And I
it
wish,
just didn't work out for me.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I struggle with that a little bit, to be honest, but
I know.
I so yeah. It's just,
In the words of the famous Elsa, let it go.
I got abandonment issues. Okay, abandonment.
Well, you two ladies have more patience and more grace than I do. Me, I'm out.
We know.
Oh no, yeah, Cristin. No, excuse me. Let me pause you. Cristin be the first one. Now, both of y'all discernment be on it's top tier. I can always both of y'all clearly. Cristin, when it comes to people, she's never been wrong about what she's done. She'd be like,
when
no,
Danae is done, Danae is done. She
Danae
like,
is done.
Nope. I could fake it for a little bit longer. Danae, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Call me when you're done. And I'm like, okay.
Wake me up when she done. But I appreciate that too, because I've learned, well, maybe I should have had more, a little bit more grace, but hey, no.
Like we are who we are, and there's grace and there's growth and all that, and there's also cutoff, right? Like this ain't it, and that's okay. And JP definitely you hold on and prolong a little bit longer. But I also see there's beauty in that, like,
very
you know, like you're long suffering, and I'm just not as long suffering as you are. And Danae is, she not having it. She not having it. She like, no, no,
No,
no, no,
no,
no.
no.
Yeah.
It's even it's like no, and then you could be like, "Oh, Kristen, no, you don't even know." And then surely enough, 6 months down the line, she'd be like, "I told y'all, I told you,
Not with the shenanigans, not
no,
with it.
not with it,
And
not."
I be like, I'm trying to bear, you know, like, come on, like, come on, do the right thing now, come on. And it's like, okay, this is who you are. This is okay. That's fine. That's
Mm.
I may the Lord watch between you and me while we're absent, and we're gonna be absent for a long time. This is
And
it.
I know being in certain, you guys know, I was living with a woman for years, and just the toxicity, like just not, she was jealous when I would go out with you guys, like slamming the doors. I'm like,
Her, I forgot about her.
God
Yeah,
have
told me to watch out for you, and the Lord was like, no, watch out for people that tell
right.
you.
I was like, this like it's a no.
And I'm like, look who I talk to now, and look who I don't. Like, it's just, we we have to be real. And like you said, JP, with the discernment, I believe that season of my life taught me more in discerning of spirits and just being isolate. I was going through a lot. Daisha mentioned church hurts. I had been going through a church where I grew up, was raised and reared in, broke my heart, the certain things that happened. Like the pastor stripped me from everything, all because he found out our youth group was going to another church for Bible study. We were just going because we were seeking, we were desiring. So instead of him asking why were we going, and what is it we that I'm missing here, he stripped me from the youth choir, stripped me. The only thing he didn't strip me from was being a drummer. So then I went to another church, broken, hurt, wounded, and not healed, and went over there, and some other things were exposed. But from there, the Lord taught me that you make sure you're not part of the blockage. And I had you guys all along, and so that sometimes I had to look forward to the pain, but also during that process, you have people around you that love you genuinely. They're not gonna hurt you. They're not here to destroy, and there's all walks of life that will go through. But once again, thank God for sisterhood, because I remember her telling me to watch you and don't talk to you and all this stuff, but I didn't listen to her because I had a relationship with God.
Yeah.
And so it's so important to have a relationship with the Lord, because He'll tell you who's with you, who's for you, who's against you.
Yeah.
And yeah, in all humor, we laugh about our personalities, but I thank God for our solid sisters supporting each other. We've been able to be there for each other in different seasons. And it's just, I'm thankful for it, especially now in my life. We're all imperfect, but we have that solid bond. We can laugh, cry, and go from the outside world, our families, and just tune in with each other. And that's, I'm like on top of the world with that, that feeling.
Yeah.
Because like I said, and this, I haven't really talked to many people. Even my best friend, I haven't shared with her yet about Isaiah. It's just we've had so much, that we've dealing with in our lives. My best friend had a heart attack a few months ago. So that was real hard. And I was like, man, so I haven't really even been able to touch bases with her. But with with you guys as my sisters, it's just like this this brings healing to my now, you know. And I look back and I say this relationship, this friendship brought healing to my past.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm grateful.
Yeah. 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 Thank you, sis. Thank you. Yeah, I remember, and thanking God, like when you guys came to my life. I'm like, God, thank you so much. Like this is just something special. And like I hope everybody gets it, but I know everybody don't get it. And I have sister. Like I'm blessed with a lot of sister friends, and I also recognize like what you me and JP have, like, this is special. And it's beautiful, and it's rare. Like, I really wish, like, yeah, I wish this for everybody. Like, I wish everybody had this, you know. I wish everybody would be open to having something like this. Because yeah, like, it's nothing like it to know, like, there's somewhere you can go. Like, there's somewhere, you know, I can turn to, I can call, where I feel heard, where I feel understood, where, you know, even if I'm corrected, I'm not judged, you know. Even if, you know, I make a mistake, I'm not shunned, I'm not outcast. Like, still a place for me here. And so, yeah, like, and you know, big things popping, little things stopping, folks, you know. ain't nobody, you know, stopping this and get. I forgot about that lady. Like,
You forgot about what?
that lady. Oh my
Child, a mess.
nerve.
It was a mess. And you know what? This is another part of I'm glad JP popped in. The
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
I'll be disappearing.
I mean, at the time that you did, because I was going to mention, we were talking about the lady I was living with, and just you've known all, you know, a lot of her stepdaughters or whatever, and it was a tragic time when I met her. One of the girls you went to school with had passed away, Danielle, and but yeah, the what broke that relationship was my ex. I thought that we was gonna get married, we were engaged, and he was coming around, and he broke a lot of those things off for me. So sometimes we can think we are supposed to be married to someone, or engaged, or in a relationship, or a friendship, or a connection, and it is not so. And so he broke that relationship with me, with her, because I didn't see it. I really didn't see it, and I was just what's the word? Consumed. I was so consumed that I didn't see the sabotage. Like, he she sat on his lap, like, and was bouncing up and down. Y'all know.
I remember that. I remember.
Father looks to die. She don't look like she knows.
Listen, because I think I have a habit of just like forgetting all shenanigans, because I'm just like, I don't do shenanigans.
You know, that was big
Anything that's crazy, I'm like, I ain't doing this. I'm not doing this. And so I think I block out all shenanigans. So.
Well,
when you say this, like, that's the first time I'm hearing it.
She did a whole. She was, yeah. But what I'm thankful for, as I'm saying, is the relationship that I thought was marriage was just to break that off, you know. And we didn't have bad blood, but there were things he struggled with. But it just brought me back to where here you are. You have a relationship with God. He'll connect you with people, and it's for a season. It could be for a lifetime. But that particular relationship broke off the bad, toxic relationship I had with her, and you know. So yeah, I'm just so thankful to be able to even go to y'all about it, because it was terrible. It was just too much, you know. So yeah, sometimes we could think we're gonna be in connection with someone for a long time, and we've had people come and go, as we've talked about earlier. No bad blood, but it just didn't work. And I'm learning this, as you know, a mother, to not be like spaz off and go off. I have a little more grace now, not as much as my husband, but I have a little more grace with people, because I don't want my children to see. I have a daughter, you know, we have daughters, so you always want to walk authentically. You know, you may have arguments, but you want to have healthy arguments, healthy, you know, episodes where you're just like, oh, I'm not good, but I don't want her to see me like in a toxic way, treating someone bad, or, you know, just going off. So my daughter, she stops me in my tracks, even on the road driving. She's just, mommy, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna cut him off. Like, I'll do this and be looking at the next person, and then I'll go back. I want to listen to the Clark sisters. Like, So, we always got our kids watching us, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And you bring up a good point too. And I knew we were gonna go like longer than other podcasts. It's us, but like, and half of it's giggles, but like, like I want our kids to know, like, you can have good girlfriends, like you can have good sisterhoods, good friendships that are healthy, right? And yeah, that it can be beautiful, and that you because that's another thing you brought up, like sometimes our friendships, our close relationships, they help us see what we can't, right? Like sometimes we're so close to things, and sometimes people prey on our hurts, like, because I definitely think there were or our weaknesses, and I'm talking about me too, like people see my naiveness and my just like, oh, I love people and women, and and all this, and that can be played upon, right? And so to have people around like, girl, are you sure about this person? Like, like watch this one. And to, and it may not even be a time to even say it, but to be praying on behalf of like, God, like, protect her from her. That's toxic. That person's dangerous. Like they're using them. Give her the eyes to see, what's really going on. And so sometimes it's said, sometimes it's not. You just pray them away. You know what I'm saying? So for real, for straight up. And so we see who's in the building, and we see who's in another place, and that's okay. So yeah. Did we touch on everything about sisterhood? Did we share everything that we wanted to share?
Moral of the story: make sure you get you some good friends that you can be vulnerable with. That have the same faith, that shares the same faith, that can point you back to Christ when you're wrong, but also that you can just have a good time with, because we have a good time. We used to be in that studio all night laughing.
I think I did it one time, twice. One time at BK's house, and one time at was it Berkeley? I was like,
I don't know, but either way it goes, it was a good time. It's always a good time. Make sure you have fun. When I think about my single years and I say I lived a good, fulfilled single life, it was because I had sisters. And I want to also give credit to like Jarrell and Romel, because first of all, they're responsible. I mean, it was the Lord working through them, but they really, like, they have been our brothers since the beginning, and thankful to them. But I'll just get you some solid friends, especially if you're a Christian single. Get you some solid friends, some girlfriends, and be vulnerable and be a friend like Jesus was a friend. Let him be that relationship.
I'm gonna say this too, because you said especially if you're single, and that's good. And I think it's also still very important once you get married too, because we get married and we become moms, we get lost in that, and
you get lost in the sauce.
Get lost in the sauce, and that's all that we have. And then when them kids grow up and go on about their business, and it's like, okay. So I think
another level.
Yeah.
When our kids get older, we're gonna be like, okay, what we do now?
Right. You want like, hey, you want to talk? I know it's been 20 years. Is this your number?
I'm ready for the cruises without the kid, just a sister girl time. Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Don't even mention Hawaii, sis. Don't even mention it right now.
Please don't. Because I'll be having straight attitude.
Oh my goodness.
It's coming. It's coming. Okay. Right now I can't go nowhere, but I know that it's coming, and it will be a time where we go be refreshed in another, in that level, and stage in our lives. So
yeah. Yeah.
I will say you two are so inspiring. I always tell Daisha this, and I haven't had a chance to tell JP. I might have said it before, but just to know you ladies as single, and then because y'all was fire like as single women, head on straight, had careers, went to college. Di still is pursuing her schooling
No,
and
I finished.
No, I know, but you have
Okay.
still
I'm like, don't speak me back to school. I'm done, sis. I'm done.
well,
Done.
pursuing the rest of the career part of it. You mentioned you were still taking a course or needed to take.
No, I have a part-time job at Georgetown. No, I'm done with school. I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
But
I'm
the
done.
longevity,
A
the
master's
longevity-
level clinician, okay?
Yeah, come on. It's a big accomplishment, and you
Thanks.
guys have done it with the children and because I would sit at times in my singleness and I'd be like, man, when am I gonna get married? Because my girls already got married. I would literally be crying because I'm like, man, I didn't give up, but I was just like, God, I need to catch up. But then I got to a place where I was content, and there were things that God needed me to heal, and that's a real place to be in too. Is like to realize I'm not ready. If he showed up now, I ain't ready. We can pray about the husband we want or the wife we want, but are you the wife or the person or the husband that person will want? And so that's when I started being content. But yes, back to y'all. I just am thankful to know y'all. Y'all inspire me, and you guys are my strength. Just as God would give such sisters, such women in my life. And so I'm grateful. No tears here, but I'm grateful. Grateful for you too.
Y'all some real ones. We still gonna worship with our heels on.
Look, we need.
Listen, I don't wear heels anymore, okay? I'm
I don't
over it.
either.
I don't either. I'm going to the Kirk Franklin tour on Saturday, and I am wearing kicks. I'm not even on heels.
We can worship in our kicks.
I have too many small kids. I be running and I'm just over it.
How times have changed.
Right.
Oh, man.
Well, y'all, I love y'all. This JP, you know, and Cristin, like this has been right. Wait, you know me. Virtual. This is our virtual pound. This has been so like just refreshing, so good. Like I don't know. I just always it's just y'all just add a little just extra just juice in my life because I was totally asleep like when we started like. So y'all wake me up and like y'all just rejuvenate me, and so I thank y'all for y'all friendship. I love y'all so much. Thank you for bearing with me because I'm those wonderful things you said, Cristin, and I'm also annoying like JP said sometimes, and so.
You haven't been annoying in a long time, so it has been a long time.
Okay. I've probably been annoying other people, but we're getting on my own nerves. But I know me, like I have the ability to inspire and to annoy, and so thank you for embracing all aspects of me. I love y'all. Just thank you for allowing me to be a part of y'all's lives and the lives of your family. And how many years later? 12 and counting. Like still rocking with your girl. So
what been married 2 years, so that's right there. When you celebrate a 10-year anniversary, I was like, dang, we've been knowing each other for
mad long, okay? Mad long. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Love y'all, sisters.
I love y'all too, and for those that have been listening, if you're still with us, because I know we're a little longer than usual. Thank you for listening in and tuning into our journey. And like JP said, if you ain't got sisters, get some.
That's it.
Have a good evening.
Bye.